So that's all. Like, and they every time they came back was like no signs of stopping. They look great.
No,
You
they
had a
did.
sidebar with somebody.
They didn't complain about anything.
No complaints.
At one point, Cruz noticed he was getting a blister. This was 30 hours in, and he was now starting to get a blister. He did. I can't remember what hour it was.
It was
I was
hour
very tired.
30 or 33. It was
That he what?
He ran a 26-minute 5K.
Oh yeah.
And when he got back, and
one of the fastest of the day,
we were all just, what's going on? He said, "Oh, I wanted to remind myself that I had energy, and I was hungry."
Hi, I'm Ian.
And I'm Megan.
Welcome back, or welcome to
the Memory Millionaires podcast.
We are survivors of government service,
cancer,
world travel,
and parenting. We're here to share stories and insights to help illuminate your path towards a happier, healthier lifestyle.
2024, last full standing. Race recap. 44 hours.
44 hours. That's how long our winner ran.
44 hours. We speculated this year would be bigger than last year, which was 28 hours.
I planned for 32. That's what I planned for.
Based on the people that signed up, we had reason to believe it would be bigger, longer. Not 2 days of running. Like, it takes us about a day to get things organized and get out there. It takes us about a day to get disorganized, to get
cleaned up
and packed up and back home and back to life. But this was
a lot.
Wild.
Yeah.
But also very calm, because it was just the middle of the night again. Like, even when we put volunteer signups up, we had people willing to go the distance with us. I was still alone at 2 a.m. around a lukewarm fire, bundled up to the nines.
So what was this event? Because
everyone was asleep.
People that are listening have no idea what we're talking about. So
in 2019, we took part in a race which was called Roots Rock Around the Clock. And they guaranteed they'd be there for 24 hours while you attempted a 5K every hour on the hour until the last person was standing. So it's not a difficult course. You could walk it. You could walk it in 55 minutes and be just on a long hike if you just keep up that pace. And typically that's who are the winners, or who just go on a hike. Lots of us showed up. Lots of us ran. Lots of us bowed out at like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours. Megan kept going. And there was a pack of like 6 or 7 that kept going until 18, 19, 20.
I dropped at 16. Then a lot of the people dropped within the next few hours. And then the last two, Todd and Dustin, ran
24 and 28.
24 and 25.
Or 25, yeah. So that, and to what we saw and what we experienced was an environment that catered to you going the furthest you've ever gone before, and very little competition in it. It was collaborative. It was
a lot of cooperative.
Yeah. Let's keep going kind of thing. No, man, you got this. You can keep going. Oh, you don't want to? Okay. I'll see you next loop.
Yeah. Someone around hour 8 or 9 dropped and gave me his food. Like he had spam musubi that he gave me, because he said, "I'm done. Here you go."
That's right. And we were like speculating he was going to win because he was so like quiet and prepared.
Yeah, everything prepared. And he gave me a snack, which was when I learned that like spam musubi with avocado is a really good running snack.
But, so that proved to us that this was a very good event. And then COVID. And COVID killed it. And the race director at the time was our good friend Chris. And he has a lot of races he does. And I think he just got exhausted.
He wasn't, when I talked to him about it, he wasn't planning on doing it again.
But we loved it.
And I loved it. And I know of other people who do these last person standing events. And a friend, fellow podcaster, Scott of 10 Junk Miles, puts on what he calls a last dot standing. And in his event, simultaneously to the main event, he also has a 48-hour and a 24-hour option.
Right. So we took that model and put it onto our course where, I mean, you already heard the first year. Well, it wasn't the first year this happened, but it was the first year we went.
The first year we did it in 2023, we did the last person standing. We did a 24 and we did 2 12 hours. So we did an AM 12 hour and a PM 12 hour. And we had the same experience as we experienced as runners in 2019, where people were telling us, that's the furthest I've ever run. That's my PR. I've never run at night.
This is such a great event. I'll be back next year. We made really big trophies because I think that you deserve a really, really big trophy for not just going the furthest you've ever gone, but enabling those other people that came with you to go further than they've ever gone because you were still going too.
Right. There's a lot of that.
Those trophies are well earned. Definitely. Even if it's a short, like first year, I think we had 3 people running the nighttime 12 hour.
Yeah.
But it's hard.
We had a great time. Like we said, our winner the first year ran 28 hours, and
furthest he'd run before that was a 50K.
Yeah, super impressive. He went from a 50K to 80 something miles. And
doubling his PR.
We knew when it ended that he could have kept going. It was obvious. But the way this type of race works is there's only one person who doesn't know how far that they can actually go, and that's the winner, because once there's no one else.
Oh, I never thought of it that way. They need to come back and get competition to see how far.
There's no one when there's no one left to push you, you're done. So you don't actually know what your limit is.
I never thought of that.
So this year, I was really excited to see last year's winner sign up to come back again.
You're a friggin' legend. You're such a legend.
So we had about 20 more people signed up this year between all the different events we did. And this year, we also added a 5K and a 10K on Sunday, because last year when we got to the end, we were the only ones there. There was no one else there. So I thought,
we should say it starts Saturday, 8 a.m. and goes until it stops.
Yeah.
But the 24-hour ceases at Sunday at 8 a.m. So even if there is someone left there, they're exhausted, they don't want to hang out.
Right. They were.
So they just, everyone vanishes.
Right. And so I thought, okay, let's add on Sunday at 8 a.m. the 5 and 10K. And then those people will be hanging out after their run, and they'll be there for the finisher for the last full.
Not this year.
Not this year.
Not this year. Those people came, they hung out till lunch, and Cruz and Jerry just kept going. No, we still had Chris then too.
Chris lasted 28 hours, which was as long as the event lasted last year.
He's a really good athlete.
Yeah. And then we were down to 2. And from hours 29 to 43, there were 2 people running. And they just...
Again, it was lonely.
Kept going.
It's such a shame that there's the spectacle, the captivating part of it happens when no one's there.
Yeah, it is kind of a shame. So now I'm already brainstorming, how can I make it different next year so that we have more people there to see the ending of this.
And we don't think they're fools. Like, we call it last fool standing because it occurs around April Fools, and kind of a jest that most non-runners think ultra runners are just crazy. You're nuts. I don't even like to drive that far.
Yeah.
There's all this foolishness associated with running all over. So
So the first year we held the event, I had the choice between 2 different weekends, and I said, well, we could have it on April Fool's Day weekend, and then I can call it the last full standing, and then every year we just have it that weekend that's closest to the last or to the April Fool's. And so this year,
we made
someone joked that, oh, well, we just have to run until Monday, and then it's April Fool's Day. Well, we hit 28 hour 29. We were down to 2 runners, and every time they came back, it was like they showed no signs of any kind of breaking.
Actually,
it was
sidebarred with me. Like, you were asleep, but I think it was.
Let me continue.
Okay.
There were hours where every time they came back, they went through their motions. Jerry had his setup and did exactly what he needed. Cruz came, sat down, got a foot rub, ate. They both looked great. There was no signs of who might give in first. The only thing that I had to go off was that I knew that the weekend prior, Jerry had run a 100-miler. And not an easy one either. No. He had run Badger Mountain in Eastern Washington. He ran a hard 100-miler. Mm-hmm. So the only thing in my mind was, okay, Jerry has run the distance before. He's very experienced in ultras, but he ran 100 miles last weekend. Cruz won this race last year, but he's never gone further than the 80 miles. So that's all. And every time they came back, it was like no signs of stopping. They look great. No, you had a sidebar with somebody.
They didn't complain about anything.
No complaints.
Yeah, at one point, Cruz noticed he was getting a blister. This was 30 hours in, and he was now starting to get a blister. He did. I can't remember what hour it was.
It was hour 30 or 33. It was
that he what?
He ran a 26-minute 5K.
Oh yeah.
And when he got back, and
one of the fastest of the day,
we were all just, what's going on? He said, "Oh, I wanted to remind myself that I had energy, and I was hungry."
He put on some jams.
Yeah.
The music hypes him up.
Yeah.
It was not long after that, so it might have been 36, 37 an hour. His wife got up and went and got something from the truck, and Jerry was over at his truck, and he's like, "Psst, hey, I don't know how much longer I can do this, just between you and me." So I just kept my mouth shut after that. Like, whatever they needed, you want some broth, you want some PB&J, you want whatever you need, Coke. All they wanted was soda.
Yeah, and actually, they both were pretty
self-sufficient.
Like, mm-hmm. I even went to the store and did another run of things that they might need, and I don't think we touched any of that.
We do our best to make sure you have everything you need. If it's soda, if it's quesadillas, if it's burgers, if it's what else? Fruit, if it's candy, whatever you need to keep going. This year, we also brought in our friend Greg, who's a physical therapist, and he fixed people for a couple hours.
Yeah, Greg of Physiologics on Bainbridge Island.
Oh yes, we should mention sponsors.
Yes, we had a lot of wonderful sponsors. We had kegs of water, which some people were disappointed was not beer.
Yeah,
but other people were very happy was not beer.
I brought beer. There was beer.
There was still
Western
beer from
Red
Western Red. Fingers Duke made our shirts and our swag. If you come back for your second year, you get a sweatshirt. And then if you come back next year, when you come back next year for your third year, you'll get something else. I've got some ideas, but stay tuned for what that might be. Who else? Of course, Cafe Perfetto. Brian brought out coffee. We had coffee.
Another person who changed people's races.
Yes.
Having coffee in the morning changed our rate. I mean,
I was well caffeinated.
That was the reason I could get along.
We had, who else? Of course, Pulsebow running. Chris has been.
Cannot happen without Chris.
Chris is the one who told me, yes, take this race, do with it what you want.
What do you need?
Everything I've needed, all the advice, all the contacts. Chris is, without his support and advice and kind of mentorship in this event would not happen. The Evergreen Turtle Rockets.
Oh yeah, Turtle Rockets showed up in droves, not only to participate in the race, to win it. Jerry is very much a Turtle Rocket.
Mm-hmm.
And Alma is just a legend. She hung out for like 16 hours. She ended up camping.
And then she raced the 10K on Sunday. We had Town and Country donate money so that we could provide the fresh fruit, which we knew was a hit the first year. So we had as much fresh fruit as we could again this year. It's still a hit next year. I'm just going to spend all of that money on fresh fruit.
So much fruit. People went through so much fruit.
Yeah.
Blueberries, strawberries. Not as many bananas.
No, I have a lot of bananas left.
Did you know Jerry is deathly allergic to bananas? Like if he gets a little bit in him, he goes into anaphylactic shock.
Yeah, we had some interesting allergies that popped up over the weekend.
Oh yeah, cashews.
We didn't have issue with them, but I learned about some allergies.
Thankfully, we didn't have issues with them.
And
oh my gosh, share. You need to share in the email.
Yeah. Let me see the back of your sweatshirt and make sure I got all of our sponsors. Let's see. Paul's Bow Running, Evergreen Turtle Rockets, Town Country, Cafe Perfetto, Western Red Brain, Fingers Duke, Physiologics, and of course, Ian and myself, the Memory Millionaires, your race directors.
I got 7 hours of sleep over the course of 48. No, probably not even. Probably less.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Sleep was...
I still sound like...
But we talked a lot about the last Fool, but I want to talk about the other events as well, because we had the AM 12-hour, which was so much fun. And like those, I think those people have in that mindset that in their minds that they know they get to stop at 8 p.m. So they like feel a little more fresh and
it's a more chill race.
Yeah, it's a more chill race. Yeah.
24 had some unique characters, some beautiful people. Ukrainian born, German born. What else?
Jada was there. This is her last big training run before she goes and runs at Cocodona 250.
You adore Jada.
Jada helped me finish my first 100 miler, and so I have a special spot in my heart for Jada, because if it hadn't been for her, I would have dropped out of a race that I was perfectly capable of finishing.
A lot of really great people around the fire too. One of our runners was 19, Christian.
He was in a 24-hour.
In the 24-hour, looking for a PR, not looking to win. And his parents, John and Candy, were irreplaceably helpful. Oh yeah, so helpful.
They hopped in and just took over the race tracking, and they were amazing.
This is a big deal, because if you miss someone's loop, they're going to be pissed.
Yeah. And who won the 12-hour AM?
With pictures.
I have it tracked somewhere. It was a lady.
I'm thinking of the tall trophy. There was another 36 hours of racing after that, so it got pushed out. A lot of really great, smart runners. I didn't see anyone going too hard, hurting themselves. Oh, well, you got hard data.
I got hard data. Yeah, so
that brings back. It even smells like campfire and bacon.
Yes, Jamie won our 12-hour AM. Jamie was a return runner from our first year.
Oh yeah, and she did.
And she just barely, well, not just barely. She had a good mile, maybe mile and a half on second place, which again is a close race when you think about.
And 12 hours of looping.
And then our 12-hour PM, Kirk and Esty came out. Kirk had a goal of running 50K, and he ran 40.8 miles, which was...
He got the 50K.
No, that's beyond a 50K.
40.8. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He ran further than he was hoping for. Our winner of our 24-hour, just like, he was so stoic and just...
He took a nap even.
A short nap.
He took a 15-minute nap, and he said he felt rejuvenated.
Yeah. He ran 25 loops. I mean, it was impressive, but
Broth.
I mean,
he was all about the broth.
I mean, look at all these people that were hanging out for the last Fool, and just, I mean, look at how long some of these people are going. 21 hours, 26 hours. Yeah, and we had a lot of return runners this year.
One way or another, yeah, they returned.
Yeah, so it was really good to have that community, and just...
We got a lot of terrific feedback. This is the best run ever. This is my favorite event now. I really hope you can do it next year, because we
have to change our location for next year.
Sad news.
But we'll sort that out, and we'll figure out a place to hold it next year. And of course, the course is going to be different because of that, but we'll try to make it somewhere that's just as beautiful and fun. So if you have any ideas of a great place where we can have approximately a 5K loop and plenty of parking, because we had over 50 people in this year's event, so we need enough parking for that. Yeah, that's
as little elevation as possible. Try to enable all these people to get as much as they can. So
we had about 300 feet of elevation, which...
Did you see that total?
Yeah.
For Jerry?
For Jerry was over 30,000.
13,000. What is that? That's Rainier.
Yeah.
That's almost to the top of Rainier. Holy crap.
Someone asked me, oh, is there a lot of elevation? I was like, no, it's only 300.
Eventually.
And then I was like, oh, well, 300 per loop.
What's that?
And, depending on where you're from, that's a lot. The race I ran in Wisconsin was like 4.
If you do 24 hours, that's 7,000 feet.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay, so yeah, we need to limit the elevation next time as best we can.
That's why, rather than doing that's not the only reason why, but part of the reason why we make it a 5K rather than the traditional backyard 4.16.
Mm-hmm.
And the 4.16 is so that when you hit 24 hours, you are exactly 100 miles. The reason we've gone with 5K is because, one, the elevation makes a difference. The trail conditions make a difference. But also, I wanted this to be something that was approachable by more than elite runners, right? If I bump that up another half a mile, 6-7 tenths of a mile to make up that difference to the 4.16, we have a lot of people that are participating in that last full standing that just, it's not.
Yeah, they're curious. They're not competing.
Yeah, and we even have the option of, hey, you started in the last Fool, but you don't want to continue in that. You can continue in the 12-hour, or you can continue in the 24-hour.
Just see how far you go. Unless you're about to win those, then it's not fair.
Well, the caveat is you cannot win those if you...
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You cannot win those events if you...
I see. That's way...
adjust over to them.
That's super fair.
Now, next year, because of the way things went this year, I'm debating a couple different options, which would be...
A 36-hour?
Adding a 12-hour event that starts on Sunday morning. Or adding a 48-hour.
Oh, my.
Well,
that would require, a lot more volunteers.
Yeah. But I think we've proven that we put together a really good event.
48 hours.
I had countless people give me hugs and tell me I'm absolutely coming back.
Smelly, shaky hugs.
Yeah.
Because they're exhausted.
I want the smelly shaky
hugs.
I
do. Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad.
Give me the hugs.
I just mean they're extra special. I love it. I love watching it.
We put this together because I loved that format so much, and I wanted that format to exist. And honestly, I wish I could run it, but that's not happening while I'm directing this race. But
if we get someone else that just wants to be there all the time like we do, why not?
It's really, I guess, validating when you have that kind of feedback of...
It's inspiring.
it was, the event was great. I made tons of memories. The trail that you chose was amazing.
It's
The
gorgeous.
support was amazing. The food option, like the feedback that you get is all positive.
Makes me want to do it more.
And even the things that I was concerned about, like I was concerned that we didn't have enough vegetarian/vegan options. And I asked one of the people before they left, I said, hey, what can I do better next year for the vegetarian and vegans? And his response was, well, I thought it was great. I had everything I needed. So just even the things I was critiquing myself on, then when I asked for feedback, people said, no, it's fine. And I already have a dozen ideas of how to make next year better. So I'm really excited to continue this, because I don't know if we've talked about this before, but our dream, or one of our dreams, one of the things that we want to do in the future is hold retreats, specifically for families. And this is essentially a running retreat, right? It gives me a lot of encouragement to move forward with those other events that we want to hold. And it was in a way a family event. We had multiple.
It's true. Yeah, we had whole families
there.
One guy's whole family ran.
Yeah, his dad ran with him. His mom ran the 5K the next day. Like we said, Christian's parents were there supporting him the entire weekend. Jerry ran the last full, and Jerry's son, Davin PR'd in the
33 miles as a 13-year-old is phenomenal.
Yeah, and
that's incredible.
12-hour, and then Jerry's kids were there all weekend to support him. They were his aid station. So Gavin was there with us the entire weekend. The older boys, Colin and Sully, probably spent
a couple hours.
A good 10 hours total over the weekend. They spent the night with us. They helped get food for the runners. Sully even made a racetrack and said, the kids can race here too. So just that encouragement, like realizing that this ties into what we want to do in the future.
It's proof we can do it.
It's proof we can do it. And it's going to look a little bit different, but it's essentially the same, right? We have the foundations.
Organize, communicate, plan.
We know the foundations, and now we just build upon that. So if you're interested in doing a family retreat someday, let us know, because we have a lot of ideas and we want to make something really special for families to come together in a space to bond, build their relationships, have one-on-one time for parents, have one-on-one time for parents with one to, each of their kids.
What I believe we enable throughout all of the people that participate in this event is shedding doubt. Yeah. And courage, like exercising courage to go into the unknown, that no one can come with you. It has to be you. And I hope and I wish that for our participants to recognize that this is not just about running. This is skills for life that they've exercised. That is, people from the outside may think it's foolish, but internally they're going to someplace they never thought they could. And that's applicable to a lot of things.
And you said, like, there's this element of it that it's only you, like you're the only one that can carry yourself forward. But all of these people who PR'd, all of these people who did something they've never done before, Jerry running for 44 hours, none of that would have happened without the community there.
Community of like-minded people.
So also, like, as much as it's an individual of endeavor,
an individual success, it's not
you can't do it alone.
Yeah.
And that's life, right? So like you said, I think our call to action, that like shedding doubt, is in and having courage to do something hard. I think that's our call to action today, is where can you shed your doubt, shed your fear of trying something hard, and show up to do that thing with courage, and ask for support if you need it. Ask for someone to come be your aid station, or, just be the help you need in whatever that endeavor is. It doesn't have to be running. It could be anything in your life.
Swimming, biking, writing.
Right. Yes. You've always wanted to write a book, but you're afraid, whatever. Ask your partner. I need to carve out an hour every Thursday to work on my novel. Whatever it is. People are here to support you. So have the courage to try to do the thing.
Through relationship, we can learn what is hard through the lessons of others.
Mm-hmm. And we can learn how to succeed at the hard things.
That was hard this weekend.
This weekend was really hard.
It was hard. I'm still recovering from. I feel mostly recovered now. But man, that was.
And there's still more work to do.
Oh yeah, I still got to get rid of a bunch of trash.
Yeah, and I have all of the results to upload.
Data.
So, yeah.
Last Fool Standing, 2024. 2025, we don't know where it's going to be. Help us scout. Shed your doubt. Scream and shout. That's what it's all about.
We're done now.
Wait. Don't go. If you found value in this episode, please subscribe and share via review or post how this episode complemented your life.
Thank you for listening. Connect with us on Instagram or Facebook at Memory Millionaires. Be well.